Wow. You gave her something. You actually gave her some presents that you personally made with your own hands. What did you give her?
Well, I made a sculpture, and the sculpture was a representation of someone else, my daughter, who I dearly love. It's just like and a necklace that I'd made of. There's outside my window in my living room is a mandarin tree, and it's got the sweetest mandarins, and it's got fruit all year round. And I got the pips, some pips from the mandarins, and I made ceramic beads from it, and I made a necklace. I twisted wire. I made my own chain and made my own beads.
Wow.
So it just reflected something beautiful, something sweet to give to somebody really beautiful and sweet.
Sounds like so much emotions put into it. You also made something else. This thing that was fat in the middle and then kind of like taped out.
No.
What is that thing?
No. I'll correct you there. I actually, because I do carving, but I'm not a master carver.
Okay.
And part of New Zealand culture is that if you are not good enough, you have to wait and to learn. So I asked a master carver, a friend of mine, Dennis Conway, who's carved some maraes in New Zealand. He's been the head carver there, to carve it for me and to carve a flute. The flute. And that flute came. There was a window in my house that I took out, and the sill from the window was carved into a flute. So she has part of my house with her. It's part of when you give something, if you give from your own house, your own self, it's a beautiful thing.
It is.
Yeah.
I remember talking to you over the phone, long distance call, and you were saying, I asked you what you were doing. You said, I just took off this old windowsill that's like 100 years old. And I assumed, I made a connection, I assumed that you made that thing for Jody from that window frame. And that is so touching that you actually did that. Now you've given a part of your life or your home or your heart to her. And now you guys, through long distance, you've got that connection.
Yes, and it's something part of New Zealand that to give something like that is really important.
Really?
The guy Branson, the airline magnate, he was the last one that my friend Dennis carved a flute for. So he carves for prominent people. But he's been my mentor, so I've been sort of blessed to have my mentor carve for me. He's also, I'm self-taught in most art forms, but with carving, I go to him. And I say I'm a novice in carving, because when you're with someone like Dennis, you realise that.
That is so great. What did she give you? She gave you some things in return.
Wow, heaps of those lovely CDs, DVDs, many I didn't have, signed, and some amazing tea, lots of beautiful different sorts of tea. I love tea, and it's I'm notorious in where I live in a beautiful settlement of Parau of having my cha. And
you got into tea after coming to Taiwan or way before that?
Definitely after being to Alisan.
Oh, that is great.
And sitting down with the Fongsan men, you couldn't help but get into tea.
Now I hear that you got together with a lot of your friends from 12 years ago. You made friends with these people who were probably policemen or rescue workers who have worked with you to help look for your son. Now you've become longtime friends, and you got together with them. What did you do with them? Talk about it a little bit.
Well, a lot of the time we just sat around talking and laughing. They took me around and met all their friends. And
they learned English after they met you?
No. Now, that's the unique thing.
Oh, yeah?
that a lot of it, particularly with Mr. Jinsan, or Fong San,
Okay.
we have got a mime gesture thing going on, and his wife, just absolutely amazing woman. She understands some English, so and people always come in to help, like the Fong San School. Those people come in to help me for the translation, and then I go to other areas, and I was with the Joe's people, my friend Mowell, and just beautiful things taking place. And the unique thing is I get lots of beautiful singing and with them, and I teach in their schools a little bit about 3D sculpture, how using clay.
Yes.
Yeah, so.
I see. Did you go hiking with them, mountain climbing, or all that?
Oh, I did. Yes.
Worked in the fields.
I've done all that. I've
You've
done all that,
that.
and I really enjoyed it. And I was, like, I got shown around many places, particularly in Puli. I got shown this big, huge paper sculptural hall, just absolutely amazing. It was gifted by the Japanese.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was absolutely a beautiful thing to see. So I got to see lots of art. I'm always fascinated with the sculpture within the temples. The art is magnificent. It's so fine and detailed. I couldn't comprehend someone making such fine work, and some of it's more than 100 years old.
Yes.
And that's what amazes me even more.
I'm amazed how foreigners just love our temples here, So it's like that's a must thing they have to do, to visit some temples here in Taiwan. Well, when's the next time you're going to be in Taiwan, you think?
Hopefully next year. There's a possibility.
That soon?
Yes, there's a few things few friends that I haven't caught up with.
Oh no, you made so many friends, huh? And I know that you were here for 3 weeks this time. That's quite a long time. You filled your schedule totally.
Every day was a busy day for me,
Yes.
but and really enjoyable. And so
you're coming again next year, really, for sure?
Yes, for sure. That depends on my work too, because I've got a job and as a gardener now. I'm no longer a social worker. I decided that I like to work with nature.
Yes, yes.
I'm into environmental things. And Mr. Leo, who wrote this book about me, he's an environmentalist too. So we've both got many things at heart, and I had a good time talking with him as well.
And his English is good.
His English was good enough for us to communicate, but all the time, like I had the support of Zhang Wei's team to help me if I got into difficulty with translation. But in this case, they provided their own people. The company that put out the book. So. Yeah, that's a magnificent book. The bit that he wrote about me is actually so close to the mark that I got a shock reading the English translation of it.
Oh, really?
Yes. He even understood about the theme behind my search was Zhang Wei's
yes.
music.
So this is the book?
This is the book, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know you couldn't help but you wanted to show me the CD, the very, very, very first CD that particular cab driver that you're thankful for gave you the CD,
really
and
grateful.
you kept it till now. What's written on the back? Oh, it's just, okay.
Oh, they're what I wrote on it when I was sort of listening to it, and I just scribble on the back, because that's my thing. I just scribble on things to remind me, I want to listen to this one, or this one sort of gives me this feeling. And all the way through, I've many of my CDs I scribble on the back of. And I was lucky enough to get us Jody if she'd sign it for me. So
she did on the inside?
On the inside,
All
yeah,
right.
yeah. And I'll tell you what, it's the most used CD. It has been really hammered. It has been hammered so much that it's
This
unbelievable.
very particular album?
Yeah, this particular album. In fact, I can't get over how it's still, the CD still actually works. The company that put it out must be congratulated.
That is so great. Well, Phil, it's been really, really happy moment, speaking with you, and so glad that you came and that you had a great time this 3 weeks. And I'm glad to hear that you're coming back again next year. Maybe you might as well just move here, Phil.
I did question someone from immigration about dual passports.
Okay.
Yeah, but he said that according to your law, that was not possible.
Oh, really?
And I said, yet.
Okay.
So I liked that possibility.
All right.
I'm really grateful to Taiwanese people, really grateful from before searching, and I'm also really grateful for your kindness and your generosity now. It's like I'm always treated with great love.
All right, Phil. Well, thank you very much. And thank you so much for watching, people. I'm Shirley.